Okay, are you ready? I am so ready. So let's have a vape first. Somebody was commenting on one of my other videos and they said, why don't you blow huge, clouds of vapor? And never been my goal. I think I would probably choke and it would not be good. So that's why I don't blow huge puffs. Just not my thing. But I am so glad to be back to vaping. I don't know if you saw my video last week, but if you did, you know that I had the week from hell. I had 6 teeth pulled, which is absolutely crazy, and I don't suggest that anybody do that. But I did last Thursday, and I was in a hole. I've had 2 back surgeries, I've had a cesarean, and none of those were at all like having 6 teeth pulled. It sucked. It sucked. I had my 4 wisdom teeth taken out, and then on top of that, I had 2 additional molars taken out. So I don't know if you can see. If you can, I'm sorry, but I'm still recovering. I'm way better than I was even a few days ago, and each day it just keeps getting better. But I have a lot of lingering pain. So that's where I'm at on that. To everybody who sent me messages and asked how I was and all of that. That was so nice of you, and I truly appreciate it. I know I've told you, thank you for it, and it was just really, really cool. The vaping community, I know I always say this, but the vaping community is absolutely incredible. So I want to say thank you to every single person who inquired about me and cared. That was really, really awesome. Okay, so let's just move forward. You you don't even know the extent of the shitty week that I had last week. Had my surgery and I was really in a hole. And well, you know what? I'm gonna briefly say some things about that. And then on top of that, just mention this very briefly. My uncle passed away as well, so it was the week from hell. But the surgery wise, funny story. I was in there and I went back and I was determined to find my happy place. So I'm in a chair and doing my best to relax. I was pretty nervous about it, but really hell bent on finding my happy place. And the surgeon comes in, and the first consultation that I had with this guy, he was really great. I mean, really, really great, the nicest guy. He comes in, however, to do my surgery, and he says, you're going to have, missing, the gaps there, and that's really going to bother you. So what are you going to do? Are you going to get implants? Are you going to go old school and do a bridge? And, I had been checking in the mirror all week, like smiling and looking both ways. And I didn't think that it was going to be such a huge issue. I do eventually want to do something, of course. I don't want any holes in my mouth look like, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I didn't think it was going to be a big thing, and he freaked me out right before the surgery. So he puts the IV in and sedates me, and I'm looking up at the ceiling tiles and I'm going, I think these are wiggling a little bit. And then boom, I'm out. But James was in the lobby and they had to come and turn the television on and turn it up way loud because he said all of a sudden he heard me screaming. So I don't know what happened after they sedated me, but it must not have been too pretty because I have not had a follow up call from his office, and my aunt had services, like a whole huge surgery with him, and he called personally to check on her that evening. Yeah, he didn't call me. So there's no telling what I did or what I said. I'm pretty laid back and I'm really actually a nice person, but who knows what happened under the sedation, and he freaked me out beforehand. So whatever happened, that's on you, brother, not me. So vape time. I'm just now getting back to where I could vape. I know I mentioned this in my previous video, but if the FDA comes down on us and we are not allowed to vape like we normally do, let me tell you, it sucks because the first day I was okay because my mind was not on vaping, to be honest. The next day, I wanted to vape, but I was really paranoid about getting dry socket, which I guess is hell. I have not had that, thank goodness, but I didn't want to chance it, so I didn't. Vaped a little bit Saturday, I believe, a little bit more Sunday. Vaped a little bit Monday because that was the funeral. And then yesterday, I kind of started to get back to normal, and then today I'm vaping like usual. Going without vaping was not fun. It was not fun. So I am so happy to be taking this toot right now. You're gonna take it with me, right? A lot of people complained about the audio in my previous video. I apologize for that. I have no idea what happened. Probably I was talking very softly because, again, I was here in my massage office and everybody in the building doesn't need to hear me talking. It's probably something that I did subconsciously, but I apologize for that. If you couldn't hear my previous video, I'm sorry, but hopefully you'll hear this one a lot better. So I hope your week was better than mine. It had to be, right? Did you have a good week? Not a ton of things that I even know about changing in the vape world, so I don't really have anything to talk about on that front. I've listened to a ton of VP Live shows because I'm supposed to be in the competition. My show is supposed to be this Saturday at 9 p.m. That's the 5th. And to be honest with you, I have no idea if that is happening because I've sent emails to Kevin at the Vapor's place. He runs the VP Live network, and I have not heard back from him. So I don't know. It's Wednesday. I have no idea how to do this programming. I have tried my best to get some pointers, and Dimitri was kind enough, that's Vaping Greek here on YouTube, was kind enough to give me, the basics, but I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I talked briefly to Robert. Hey, Robert. And, he doesn't know what we're doing either because I don't. And we have no idea if the show is going to happen. If I do get word, I will pop on here, however briefly, to let you know that the show is happening and just confirm that in case you wanted to watch it. I don't know. Is it going to be a web show? Is it going to be an audio show? I know nothing. And I don't mean to sound frustrated, but I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated on a couple parts because I don't want to put something out there that's garbage. I don't want it to be me sitting in an audio show by myself for an hour with nothing to say. Anybody, if you watch my videos, I'm a newer vapor and I don't have, a ton to bring to the table. It seems to me that the VP Live Network is really about advocacy, and I am all about that. I do my part. You can see me. I'm on Twitter. I'm writing to my Congress people. I think that's really, really important. We have to band together. But what I wanted to do for a show was completely different. I only have experience as a newer vapor. All of my videos are geared toward beginner vapors. I appreciate everybody with way more experience than me that comes on and helps me. You guys are great. But my whole intention with doing my channel, and then of course, if I have a web show, was to, be approachable to people just starting out, to offer any kind of advice that I can give, and really just to support people because I find it can be tough. Like, even in the chat rooms and on the forums and things like that, it's hard to get people not to answer your questions, but sometimes people can come off as, I know way more than you. Why are you asking me that? You're a knucklehead. Kevin loves to say that on his show. So I never wanted to be, that way. I wanted to be approachable. So if you have questions, I want you to be able to feel like you can ask me. If I don't know, I will find out and point you in the right direction. That was my whole goal. So maybe it might just be that my type of show won't work on the network. I don't take offense to that. I just wish someone would let me know. But yeah, it's all up in the air as of right now. Yeah, totally fixing my bra strap in the middle of the video. You tell I got kind of uncomfortable there. Guess it's time for a vape. It's so nice to be back to vaping. Oh, I did want to update you on my previous comments in my last video about Mount Baker Vapor. I had ordered some 12 milligram juice. I am still using my two favorites just because I'm just getting back in the swing of things. I've got my Blue Moo and my trusty Moo juice here, and I don't know. Now, I've let these steep. To be fair, in my last video, those juices had not steeped. I had used them not straight out of the mailbox, but pretty darn close. And they're getting more back to where they should be, kind of back to normal. So maybe it was just something where they needed more time, but I still detect slight differences in both juices. I'm not at all unhappy with the product at all. I can tell the difference. Maybe it's just me. Maybe my palate is changing. Maybe it's something weird with all the tooth pain that I was in before, still having now. I don't know, but they're just not the same to me that they used to be. By no means are they terrible. I'm going to continue loving Mount Baker Vapor, continue ordering from them, and I'm going to go straight into my juice reviews. As soon as things get back to normal, I find out what's going on with the possible show, then I'll start up those videos. So the juice reviews will be coming, and let's see. I'm going to do an in-depth review of the two J tanks that I purchased, show you how I fill them, how I clean them, all of that. And then I would like to talk a little bit about different batteries. I get a lot of questions just out and about here. I am constantly trying to get people to change over to vaping from smoking. So the main questions that I get from people in person are about these batteries. How long do they last? How do you charge them? People that don't know anything. So I'm going to do, just a brief series on what to buy for your first kit, my opinions, and then a battery battle, something like that, and then talk a little bit about various tanks that you can get from CE4s through your Pro Tank, Pro Tank 2, Pro Tank Mini, all that kind of stuff. So I'll be doing some basics videos coming up along with the juice reviews, and that's just so I can refer people as I talk with them. Originally, my whole plan for the YouTube channel, I'm so glad that it's grown to what it is. I appreciate all of you guys. My original intention, I never thought that anybody out in the vaping community would watch these. I was going to make a few videos so that I could refer people. I was constantly writing down websites, telling people what to purchase. I have a little business card now. I hand them the business card with my channel, and I suggest a few videos to them right there on the business card, so I don't have to write anything down. That way I can tell them, watch that first video that I did, and it'll get them started at least, and then they can approach me if they want to with questions. My whole goal has always been to get people to stop smoking and start vaping. Now, I look at it this way. Every cigarette that somebody does not smoke, whether they quit cold turkey, whether they vape, whether they use the patch or nicotine gum or whatever works for them, I'm happy with that. Every cigarette that they don't smoke saves them time. I got so excited, and I think that we all do when we stop smoking. So I wanted to share that, and that was my original intent with the channel. Now that that has grown, my intention is a little bit different. I still want to do videos where I can refer people to them to get the basics, to figure out what equipment to buy. So those videos will still be made, at least until I finish kind of, and I feel like I've done enough to get someone started. But then we'll go into more advanced things because my tastes are changing. What I want to use day to day, I mean, this is completely different from where I started. And if somebody sees me using these, it can be a little bit intimidating. So I still need to have, a basics type of thing. I've given away all of my egos, so I don't have any more. I just gave the last one, I think, to my aunt to, hand them and tell them to use. So I feel like the videos are really, really important so that they can log on and figure out what they need to buy. My whole goal is to help people stop smoking. So we'll do a few of those videos, and I hope that you'll bear with me. If you're not interested in those, you can skip them. It won't offend me at all. But I want people to be able to view those so that they can stop smoking if they want to. What else? I did listen to the competitor. There was a guy on last Saturday night, and if you go to iTunes or I think you can go to Vapor's Place or VP Live and you can check out my competitor. The first guy did his show. It's a guy named Matt, I believe. And he did a show where he had on somebody from the poker community and the online poker community. And he had a talk about what happened with online poker. And what happened was it was outlawed. You could not do it. And it's funny the parallels between what happened in the beginning before people even really realized what was going on, pretty similar to what's happening in vaping. So it was really interesting show and I really enjoyed it. Now, when he did his show, he said that he was going to be on every week from there on. He was going to do a weekly show. So I don't know what that means for me because his show was on Saturday at 9 o'clock. So I don't know if he's planning on being on this Saturday at 9 o'clock instead of me. I have no idea what is going on with that. But again, when I find out, I will let you know. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this video. I'm getting back to normal and I appreciate your patience with me. I hope that you guys are having a really great vape week, a better vaping week than I had last week. I'm already having a better vape week this week than I had last week. So I'll see you later and let's have a vape. You don't appreciate it until you lose it. So true. Bye, you guys. Mwah.